the terminal, we need the SSH client. Okay, so there are lots of SSH client. Putty is one of them, and Raspberry Pi runs on the Linux-based operating system. That's why we are using the SSH client. Okay, so this is actually just a overview of background of this, why we are using the SSH client or Putty. Why Putty? There is nothing to hard and fast rule to use Putty. There are lots of other SSH client software is there. You can use any of them. But keep in mind, as Raspberry Pi is a Linux-based system, so you have to connect through a Linux terminal, and that terminal is providing through this SSH client, that Putty. Okay. Okay, Shaman, you can continue.
Thank you. Okay, so one most port is 80, most popular port is 80, and we are very much familiar with HTTP because whenever we enter some particular website URL, then we have to write some HTTP. Okay, so for that purpose, 80 port is open. Now I'll show that. 1 second. Okay, so I have written here google.com. Okay, now I want to use port number 80 in this particular website. So I have to put clone, after that 80, and hit enter. See, it's allowing me. It's allowing me because this particular port, I mean 80 port, is open. That's why google.com is allowing me. Instead of 80, if I want to use any kind of port number, and if doesn't exist or if doesn't allow me, then it will not open. So I'll show that. So again, I am going to put another port number. So here I'm going to use SSH port. I was talking about the Putty, so where I used port number 22, and same things I'm going to use. And what happened? Let's see. Oh, it's not allowing me because this port is doesn't exist here, or it's not allowed it. It's not allowing. That's why I'm not entered to this particular port. That's why it's saying that this site can't be reached. Okay, so I think it's clear to all. Okay, here I am some socket coding programming. So I'm not going to discuss in depthly because it's not possible to discuss all the coding stuff. We have another session where we'll start from scratch, and where we'll discuss with about a lot of sensors and networking also in deeply. So here I'm just going to give an overview about the socket communication. So socket is nothing. Socket allow communication between two different processes on the same or different machines. So in basically what happened by using socket. So socket communication can be possible in a local network in between several, or you can say in between numbers of laptop or desktop. Suppose there have a particular Wi-Fi connection that is called my Wi-Fi connection name is Honor. So with Honor, total 10 laptops are connected. Now you are the boss. You want to see others 9 computers and you want to handle. Okay. So for that purpose, you can use the socket communication. I will show a demo. I have also a Windows laptop. So in socket communication, there have 2 sides. One is server side, one is client service side. So from client, you can give some message to the server, or you can access also. Okay. So here I'm just going to print some name to the server side. Okay. So before going that, I want to say about some socket commands. A dot socket, it should be there. Otherwise, you can't communicate with between 2 computers. Then bind actually what does it actually it binds host and port number. Okay, listen means how many connection you want to allow at a time. And there have send receive option also. Send means if you want to send some messages, then you have to use dot send function. If you want to receive from third person any messages, any message, then you have to use dot receive function. Okay, now I'm going to the coding section that I can give some overview about this, how communication can be happen. Okay, so I'm going to project cd python cd python practice, and my server code is here. Okay, I have run this code, and you can see it's continuously running. And what is saying socket successfully created. So socket communication is successfully created, I mean the server side, not from the client side. And socket binded to 800,000. That means in this particular port, the socket communication created, a server side is created, and socket is listening. That means socket is waiting for another connection. I mean the server side is waiting for the client side. Now I am going to my Windows laptop where my client code are there, and I want to run it. Okay, I want to share the screen that you can see. This is my Windows laptop. You can see that I have already run the code, and it's asking your name. So my name is SK Suman. I'm going to type that SK Suman. I am going to hit enter. Hit enter. Now see what happened here. It's printing my name with port number and IP address, right? Now again, I'm going to run this code to give some another message. Again, it's asking your name. This time I'm going to write my company's name, SCG Solution, and I'm going to hit it. See, again it is printed, but some difference is there. See, when my first time when my name was printed, the port number was 51256. After that, it is printing SCG Solution, but port number is not exactly same. Port number is 51257. Now I think I can make sense right now, because when SK Suman was printed with a particular 51256 number port, that means the port is busy. You cannot overwrite anything on that port. That's why it is printing the SCG Solution in another port number. So that's it about the socket communication. You can control your laptop also. So I'll discuss in the next session about that how you can hack your computer, how you can handle file and everything, all the stuff from another computer. I will show that. This is just a demo. That's why I have show this kind of scripting. Okay. Now I'm going to the, again it is over.
So before going to the next slide, have any question so far? Basically, the socket communication is very important for IoT because you will connect between two devices, right? Two or more or multiple devices. So multiple devices should have communication between multiple sockets. Okay, so you have to enable the socket. You have to prepare one machine as a server, and you have to prepare another machines as a client. And using that client servers method, you can communicate between